This is the first design movie for the design assignment for the online class for Advanced Photoshop. I want to go through this design assignment guide for 2019 with you, and I also want to go through this design example with you. So let me make it a little bit bigger, because you all need extra material for your portfolio. So what I'm doing is I'm going through this extremely quickly to show you all the design variations, which I will go over a lot slower in a minute, that you have choices of. So these design variations are all based on themes. And what I want to discuss with you is the kind of the rules for the execution of your ads, and also the possibilities. So I'm going to go back to the design assignment guide, and I'm just going to read it for a second with you. This project is theme-based. Each design series, which if I zoom in on that, you can see that this student chose Motown. And in Motown, they chose to do Madonna, Diana Ross, and Stevie Wonder. Now, before they got to the finish, they had to execute a thumbnail stage for me. So I want to also show you your thumbnail, I want to say choices that you have. And remember that this is for your portfolio presentation package. So the more that you show the idea and execution stage in your portfolio package, especially you designers, the better your possibilities are of getting a job, because it's not the finish that the art directors or the clients really care about. It's they want to know how you got there. And the thumbnail stage shows that. So what I want to show is both the importance of the finish stage and the thumbnail stage. Now the same student, I should continue to read. I said, this example contains thumbnails and each final ad, which make up one complete ad series. Okay, Motown was one complete ad series, and as I said before, Madonna, Diana Ross, and Stevie Wonder made up the three titles. The next set of ads that student did were a little bit simpler. The first set of ads have to have 4 items. They have to have an image, of course, a headline, which is the Motown sound and Madonna, body text, which is right down there, and a logo, which the student decided to move around the page. Usually it's kept at the lower part of the page. What I want you to do with this first movie is just start thinking of styles, of themes, and I'm going to help you with that. So the next set of ads that the student did, remember, I'm not making you do more than one set of ads, although there's going to be plenty of time to do as many set of ads that you want to do. And I'm going to add this right now, and I'll probably say it a couple of times. We're going to create these ads within Photoshop, knowing that they're the comp stage of the ads. The finish stage for any printed material would be done in Adobe InDesign. That is a given. But we're going to maintain ourselves in Adobe Photoshop, and as you will see in the production movies, text within a raster program like Photoshop can be made to stay vector. And I will show you what I'm talking about when I go through the examples in a few minutes. The next set of ads that this student chose, they didn't have to have body text. They have a logo, a headline, and an image. The next set of ads that the student did, yes, they did 3 sets of ads. They actually did 5 sets of ads. And their portfolio looked really, really beautiful with those 5 sets of ads. The third set of ads they did was obviously for Chanel. And they used filters within Photoshop to create that background. That's called a Find Edges filter, and they took the color out of it. But let's continue to read. So I'm going to even highlight again. Most students do more than one ad series. So I show you the next ad series here, and as you can see, here I'll get closer. The style, the color, the size of any ad series can vary. It's your choice. It's your portfolio. And you can decide on how many ad series you need. So, yes, I threw this in here. Ask yourself, does my portfolio presentation package need more content? Now, as you're thinking that, I know you're thinking to yourself that the answer is yes, yes, and yes, yes. Okay, I say your first ad series, as I just said, needs 4 items: image, headline, body text, and logo. The extra ad series that you do are your choice. The student only had the image, headline, and logo, as I said, and I also said, and they are beautiful. Now, how did they get that way? Before the student began, they watched this design production #1 movie right there. Okay, I'm going to change this URL here because I'm actually creating the movie, a new movie for the online class. But the rest of the movies are just fine. You should have to watch. I didn't mean to say that. You should, and it's mandatory that you watch Design Production 2, Design Production 3, Design Production 4, and then the 5th movie shows you how to actually start your first ad series. So I take an image and I go all the way through to finish. And if you just watch that, you won't have any questions. You'll be able to rewatch those as you're doing your ad series. The first ad series may take you days. The second ad series may take you hours. The third ad series may take you less than the hours that it took you to make the second ad series, and so on and so on. Okay. I've put these movies out here, especially Design Project Movie 2 and 3, because there are rules to follow. There are. Look at how this body text here is flush right. Do you notice how, even though it's really bad, and I'll show you a better version of it, the punctuation is hanging beyond the right margin. Notice how nothing is stuffed over in the edges. Notice how there's a nice visual. Look at how the A on Shinola creates a nice right-hand margin for the way that the woman's vertical text is reading, and all vertical text has to read to the right, meaning the first letters on the bottom. Notice how this has a lot of open space, and they did crop the watch off, which is perfectly fine. Notice how their thumbnails are a really good storytelling depiction of what the finish is going to be. And sometimes that can change. And I even show that. Okay? I show it here. So on here, which I'm going to go over a little bit more in depth on Design Movie 2, this is a thumbnail that the student did, and they're showing 3 examples of 3 ideas for how they were going to design the word or the theme, the title Graduates. Their next title is Children, and their final title is Live Performance. And now I say right here, their theme is was to showcase right there their photography company or a photography company. So it's the photography company that they're highlighting. Now the client looked at this and chose see how this says A, B, and C? They chose the A version. Notice how the A version of Graduates is just like the A version of Children, which is just like the A version of Live Performance. Now, the second thumbnail, which I'm not requiring you to do, but I highly suggest you do it to show the execution stage in your portfolio, which is way important. And I'm going to show you a student's portfolio. I'm actually going to show you their tear sheet right after this, before I even show you the examples, because that student got a job at Our Detroit Magazine as a junior art director, and within 2 to 3 years made it up to creative director at a major agency. Okay, and if your want and desire is to get into this industry, then please pay attention to what I'm going to say. But do you see how they tightened up the version of Graduates? See how that says Graduates on the top? See how Children has a nice feel over to Live Performance. Now in the finish, the client made a change because of the printing and publication requirements, they had to do of more of a vertical, of a portrait orientation, not a landscape orientation. So they changed from graduates to couples because the client made that change. They kept children, and instead of live performance, which has way too many letters, they went to bands. And there's their finished stage. So now that I've shown you that, and before I show you the design example, I'm going to bring over the folder, which I think I have right here, that has all the movies in it. This is my folder, by the way. And it has these prior... In the module for 2300, in the design module, which I'll talk about, which I have shown you in the movie that started this class, there is a folder called Prior Semester Designs, and I give you a whole bunch of PDF files that you can scroll through. There's many pages in here, and there's a ton of different student examples of themes, and there are 3 ads within each theme. Okay, so not all the ads have body text, only their first set of ads do. Okay, I am not going to go in there. I am going to show you the design example PDF in a minute. But what I want to do, if I can find it kind of reasonably quickly, is show you this PDF file right here of a young designer named Dominika. This is a tear sheet. What's a tear sheet? It's an 8.5 by 11 display, like a mini portfolio. It starts with a cover letter. The next page goes to their resume. I want you to see the student design their own logo, and they actually designed a really nice feel for how, the reason I'm hesitating is I wanted to see if this was the one that they actually, yes. They actually, remember I said she got a job at Our Detroit Magazine? Do you see how she took her cover letter and she specifically targeted it to Our Detroit Magazine? Because that's where she wanted to get the job at. So had she, and she did, interview elsewhere, she actually targeted her cover letter to those companies. Now, again, here's her resume. Oops, I have to click away. Here's her resume, and now here is the ads that she did for this class. Okay, so I'm going to kind of go to the next page. Look at how beautiful those are. Look at how they have a logo. Look at how each one has a logo. Look at how the text actually has, I'm not showing you a very good example of this again, but I will in a minute, how this has hanging punctuation, body text, really nice margins, has really good color feel, has graphic elements that actually direct you into the logo. Look at how this vertical here, this diagonal, actually directs your vision down into the logo. But that's not what the client liked. The reason she got the job is because she showed versatility in her design capability and her thumbnails. Wow, that's amazing. And I even know his name. The art director at Our Detroit Magazine even called me and said, "Are you sure she's a student?" Well, that's what I want for you. And she even showed the rest of her design series. I know this isn't about tear sheets, but I'm going through it. She even showed that she has capability in Illustrator. Do you see that? And she painted a final product. So a designer actually painted a final product showing her Photoshop capability. So not only can she design the ad, she can actually build the artwork for the ad. Way cool. That means she can wear many hats. So I'm going to close this and go right to the design example. Now in the design example, I'm going to go to the first page. Now in the first page, she's actually showing, let me go to presentation view. If I can remember where it is, it's Command L. Okay, there we go. So here's presentation view. This is Brittany April. She is now a major art director, and she's changed companies a few times. She's at McCann Worldwide. She's even, I'm going to sneeze in a second, and I don't, okay, I'm trying to make it pass. Look at how her theme was obviously SeaWorld, and she did bottlenose dolphins. Look at how beautiful her body text is. Now, I told you I would have better resolution. Look at how all the punctuation over here is hanging to the right. And I show you how to do that in movie 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? I even have a separate movie for body text and hanging punctuation. So what I want to do now is go to the next one. Look at how they simply have a really nice feel back and forth. Look at how she cut off the N on dolphin. Look at how she actually cut off the N on spotted dolphin. She did the same thing with Pacific. Look at how beautiful that is. Look at how the direction of the dolphins aim you to the logo and to the headline. And I show that in movie number 2, which is pretty cool. All right. Now, here are some other ones that I want to show you. Your theme, your orientation, portrait or headline, size 4x6, 6x9. I want to make sure that anything you do, and you'll hear this very, very, very many times, is 300 ppi. So don't try to do an ad that's 20 inches wide at 300 ppi. It's going to make way too big a file. Don't do an ad that's 4 inches at 300 ppi. That's going to make way too small a file. So try to keep it within 12 by something down to 9 or 8 by something, okay, if you follow what I'm saying. So this ad might have been 6 by 9. This ad right here wasn't 11 by 17. She probably did it 12 inches wide by 9 inches high. Okay, don't try to do something 11 by 17 at 300 ppi. It's going to make the Photoshop file way too big. And yes, all of these were built in Photoshop. The finish would have been built in InDesign. Now that's the second time I've said that. But when you do comps for a client, they don't have to be perfect. They just have to tell the story. When you do the finish, it has to be done in InDesign. But anyway, let's keep on going. So I'm just going to fly through these. Okay, you can fly through the prior semester designs, but look at how beautiful these themes are. Look at how they're so varied and so wide. Look at how she chose to do the verticals and change the sides. She actually just took photographs and did filters on them. It's beautiful. Look at the composite images that Lisa did. She did beautiful composite images for I'm not going to say that right. Lamia and Lamia. It's Lamia, whatever. Salon. So you can see this young man, Jack Downs, he did 10 ad series. Yes, he did 10. He showed enthusiasm, passion, an abundance of material. He had over 150 items for his portfolio, because nobody was going to take the job away from him. Look what Tracy did. Look at these beautiful vertical posters that she did. Now, she didn't do it, 17 inches high. She did those probably 12 inches high by whatever the width was. But look at these beautiful overlapping. She did all her own retouching for the grapes on top. They're just wonderful. Look at this. Justin Malik actually is multi-talented both in illustration design and motion design. And he went into Donor. You should look that up. Donor, Google DONER USA, and then choose the Detroit one. Okay, so or just Google Donor Southfield, and you'll get their agency. They're a magnificent agency. Look at how he didn't have to show all the animal. Look at how he used graphic elements to make it all work. Look at how the margins are beautiful. Look at how the logo's not stuffed on the bottom. So I'm just showing you these as I go through. This is actually, Mallory is a creative director right now. She did a beautiful job on these. Look at how the main element, the image, is actually opacityed back. Isn't that cool? I mean, the main element is actually not at full value, and that's what makes this beautiful. Wow. These are just so varied items that I want you to have some fun with this. Now that ends that. So, back to our handout guide. I want you to be able to, within this week, and I'll have it in the first item within the design module, I want you to tell me what your ad series is going to be. So I want to approve it. I want to see if, and here's the issue. When you, let's say that your first ad series is going to be on zoos, and I'm going to bring over a new tab from Google here, from this. And you want to put in lions. So what I want you to do, let's say your ad is going to be lions and tigers and bears, and you want to do the San Diego Zoo. Okay, so I'm just going to put in lions. And I'm going to put in lions, or just lions, and I'm going to hit images. So I'm going to go to choose, that's the Detroit Lions. I want images. I don't want the Detroit Lions. Let me put in lions up here. I didn't want to do that. Okay, so now I'm going to go into images, and in images, I'm going to hit right away. It's what I want you to do. I'm going to find pictures. So let's say you choose Mars and you can't find good pictures, or you choose popsicles and you can't find good pictures, or ice cream shops and you can't find good pictures of ice cream. Then choose another one. But watch, in tools, I'm going to go to size, and I'm going to make sure that I am looking for large pictures. I'd like to find 4 megabytes or higher. I want my images to be very emotional. I want them to be beautiful. Like that image of that lion, of those 2 lions, is beautiful. And you are allowed to put a copyrighted image. You don't have to search up here. Let me close this. You don't have to search up here for user rights and say labeled for reuse. You can put a copyrighted image in your portfolio. Just don't ever sell that ad. Don't ever sell it for even $1. You can put copyrighted images like Disney pictures or Star Wars pictures in your portfolio, and you can't get sued for it. Okay, so just don't ever accept money for it. The Supreme Court determined that having images in your portfolio and then gaining a career, a job from that portfolio is not the same as selling your ads. Okay, just don't ever accept money for them. So choose great images. If you can't find great images, then choose a different theme. Am I making myself clear? Okay, so very first week on the design series, and I think I have the module here. So here's your 2300 module, and I'm still building this. I'm still building this design module within Canvas. Okay, whoops. And it says I'm logged out. That's okay. I'm going to log back in a few minutes. Okay, fine. So I'm going to put up here in the design assignment guide, and above it, I'm going to put in there not quite sure how I'm going to do it. I might just simply ask you to email me your design themes through Canvas. Okay, so and that might just be in a single. I think that's the smartest way to do this. And I will record all of that. In other words, when you hit your inbox right there, and you want to send me a email, you simply click the Compose a New Email. You select your course, which is 2300. You select over here your teachers. Teachers, and then you select me. And now you put in here are my design themes, and then you just let me know what your design themes are. Okay, and then I'm not going to because I'm not in Detroit. I'm not with you. This is an online class. I don't need to see all your images. I want to see probably the 3 images after you find them. Let's say your ad series is the San Diego Zoo. I'd love to see the 3 pictures you choose, the one for lions, the one for tigers, and the one for bears. Okay, I would love to see that. I think that would be a great thing. And I will let you know that probably, I'm hitting cancel there, and I'm going to put this on my other screen. So I would probably, I am going to have, let me see where I put it. Oh, yeah, back on this one. Sorry. Let's go back here. And in the design one here, in that same README file, I will ask you to email me your 3 selected images for each ad series. And I will have a Dropbox like, see how there's a drop box right there for your thumbnail stage? It says tight thumbnail stage, but I'm still editing that, okay, because today is Sunday and the class starts tomorrow. So I'm going to have a thumbnail stage Dropbox. I'm going to have an image Dropbox, and I'm going to have and I want you to email me your themes. So now you go to Movie 2 and you actually start the process of letting me show you the design principles that I want you to adhere to and how to create these in a production manner. Thanks.